Hey guys, welcome to Drain Coin, where we share how to invest for a better tomorrow. My name's Tyler, and today we're going to be going over a few things, particularly dealing with SOFI and NIO. But specifically with SOFI, we're going to talk about the price action today, how I predicted the SOFI stock price movement last week before they went into market today. And we're also going to be going over some of the recent NIO price action and why that's going up and where both of these are going into the future. For anybody unfamiliar with SOFI, they're essentially a giant financial wellness service that allows you to have checking accounts, run your personal student loans through them, get paid faster on payday like a lot of new fintech banks are doing, and essentially give you all of the benefits of having a larger bank with all of the extra add-ons that you would generally see from these large banks, but on a more fintech level that's more able to move with the times at a fast pace that people are looking for in our current generations. A lot of the hype around SOFI especially is not only the fact that it has your banking and everything attached to it, but you can also freely trade money from your checking account over to your investment stuff, so you can invest in either stocks or IPOs or get into more cryptos and different things like that. And it's not just for individuals, they also do small business loans and products that help you out when you are a small business. So it gives a lot more access to people than a lot of different kind of banks usually do, depending on what they're trying to deal in. A lot of the draw for SOFI in the stock investment world is that they got caught up in the SPAC hype craze, and that went with the SPAC IPOE for when they went to go live. The merger was announced that they were tentatively going to get together back in January, and then they just finally closed recently. In the beginning of June, they started trading under the ticker SOFI. The big draw for SOFI for a lot of people that want convenience is that you can have all of your financial needs met essentially in one place. You know, most banks aren't dealing in crypto now, or actually frown upon sending your money over to crypto exchanges to do stuff. So the fact that they have that directly built in gives them an edge on a lot of banks, in my opinion, because crypto is only going to keep growing into the future as more people look more towards it. Another thing to keep in mind for SOFI is that they have a low price target of $25 and an average of $27.50. And their share price, before we get into the chart analysis, was roughly $18 for the majority of the day. They were kind of sold off on Friday, and they've been trending down into this range where I think they basically have an immense upside, because I don't see them going too much lower from their current levels. Since mid-May, their stock has basically been trading in this range of a low around $17.90 and a high of roughly $24, besides a couple weird outside peaks. I do think they can trade back above $20 here fairly quickly, with that being a timeline of less than 2 weeks from now, which is June 28th from when I'm recording this. And I think them getting the merger submitted and finally going live under SOFI gives them an advantage as well, because it gets them out of that stigma that's been around SPACs, where they're kind of just like pump and dump schemes, or they're just not great stocks to invest in because you never know who they're going to merge with or anything. So I think this will help them kind of shed off that look going into the future. And then my price target for SOFI as of right now is going to be $50 going into next year, because I do think they have an immense upside with what their capabilities are on the platform. And then obviously, as I see the price movement over time, I'll be adjusting that as we look towards the future. And then my long-term price target for SOFI is kind of a hard one, but I do think they have a good case to be worth over $70 in the next year and a half. I think their distinction of adding a one-stop shop for personal loans, student loans, small business loans, all of your investing in either crypto or stocks, just all of these different options, so that you don't have to move your money around to different places and you can avoid some of the fees associated with that, kind of just helps set up a more convenient factor for people trying to get involved more in financial freedom. So I do see this over $70 in the next year or so, and I'll be updating predictions as stuff changes over time. Now, as we look at NIO, I haven't really touched on NIO in the channel before outside of comparing it to Fisker and CCIV or Lucid Motors. And what I'm going to be looking at is some of their big news that they've come out in the last couple weeks. One of my big concerns for NIO is that a lot of the bigger countries are kind of concerned about China's privacy stuff and their data collection tactics when they use technology. And obviously, China has been under fire with smart cars due to that, because they're concerned about possibly spying with cameras or just data collection and mapping out different countries and things like that. But they have been approved to sell their ES8 in Europe and I would assume they would start getting on that fairly quick because NIO has been looking to expand, and this could be a big break for them to capitalize on, especially if they beat Fisker into the market space in Europe, where they've already got deals to manufacture in Europe over the next couple of years as well. And so especially in outside of the US, I think the two big EV companies you're going to want to have your eyes on right now are going to be NIO and Fisker. More specifically, NIO is going to be available in Norway in September, and then I would believe the expansion would start from there across Europe. And if we round up, NIO has only sold about 7,500 ES8s in China, and that's being generous. So that would give them a decent boost to their balance sheets and the company outlook if they can get some more of these put out in Europe as a whole. Analysts have been pretty bullish on them. Their median price target is $57.44, which would put them about $6 undervalued from their current trading price during market today. And they have a high of about $92, where this gives them basically almost double from where they are currently. Just like the rest of the EV stocks and other SPACs that took a dive from the beginning of the year, NIO had a pretty nasty dive down to about $30 at one point mid-May, and they've slowly been trending back up from a reversal there. So if you bought in there, you're still doing pretty well as we look forward. They're looking to test $50 again for the first time since about the beginning of March, and this would set them up for a huge psychological barrier because a lot of people were wondering if they'd even be able to reach back to $50 anytime soon. The other main catalyst that's been driving the price too is that people are looking forward to July 9th, which is the date they set for their NIO Power Day event, which is basically just a showcase of their products and different vehicles that they have going out in the future. So we could be seeing possible developments on new cars or new tech that they're looking to get out in cars that they're actively trying to produce, and also possibly new spec news or anything like that. So this gives a lot of upside to look into for that. So I see this as a possible way to use the price to your advantage going over the next couple weeks. Now, for me, if we get past that psychological barrier of $50, we're going to have a small barrier here of about $52. That's why I'm going to be looking for the price to kind of move going towards that July 9th date, considering we're about a week and a half out. And if it can break that $52 area, I see a nice swift rise to where they can retest the 60s and get into that range. If we do get up to those 60s, I could see on event day, if they bring out some decent developments or possibly even a whole new car model, that they have a lot of upside going towards trying to retest some of those all-time highs from this past year. And this would look very good for investors going into the long run, because this could set them up to try to get into the hundreds at some point when they start getting more of their vehicles out. If they can take some of the market share from Fisker in Europe early before Fisker gets ahead of it, that could put Fisker in trouble possibly for where they're going, since NIO is more of that cost basis of a Fisker vehicle as compared to Lucid and Tesla being more on the higher end range. As we look at NIO, I could see them possibly going for a long-term target of $120 or more. This is due to the fact that we're guessing that they could possibly get some good approvals in other countries and then move more into the United States. Obviously, there's a large uphill battle with the United States right now with some of the data violations and different things that are a concern coming from China and their different companies that are involved with them. But if we do get access to NIO here in the United States, I could definitely see them over $120 in the long term. If you guys are looking for something to get ahead in before they're actually public, make sure you check out my Clear Secure IPO videos. I've got 2 of them with the initial dates that I project the IPO will go live. I think tomorrow is going to be the date that they actually have the IPO listing, which is going to be June 29th, just due to the fact that Webull has been listing them as their official listing date of June 30th. So be sure to check those out and see what's making that stock tick, because I think it is a very nice investment to get in early during the IPO. Other than that, that's going to do it for me in this video today, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.